Late, but good afternoon. My name is Peter. I am the founder of the company xTactor. I'm also a researcher and an associate professor at Stockholm University. And today I will talk a little bit about the company xTactor and our technology and the research behind it. And then I will present our product, xBand, which is in short a wristband for communication, where you can send and receive information through without using your sight or hearing. At the end of the presentation, I will happily answer any questions. So first, in recent years, my research interests have been brain-computer interfaces, which is the intersection between neuroscience and artificial intelligence. However, the term brain-computer interface is a little bit misleading because, I mean, all type of communication is to your brain. But what we study in this field is alternative ways for communication, where you don't use your sight or hearing. And in recent years, there have been really astonishing results in this field. For example, results regarding sensory substitution, where you actually can see and hear through your sense of touch. And there is a quote from a famous neuroscientist, David Eagleman, and he says, "Just give the brain the information and it will figure it out." And what you mean by that is that if you send visual information through the sense of touch, the brain will understand that it is visual information and actually create an image in your head, although the information is sent through the sense of touch, which is really, really amazing. There are also other astonishing results from brain-computer interfaces. For example, that you can write text messages just from your mind, directly from your mind. And although this is just research, but this is the background. And this research, of course, is very, very expensive and it's so far on the research level, but still there are a lot of things from this field which could be useful for everyday people. And what the research really shows is that you've probably heard of it, that the brain is plastic, which means that it's very, very adaptable and can learn new things easier than you might expect. In the tech industry, there is also an interesting trend called Zero UI, and it's about user interfaces without screens. And this is, of course, good for the future for people with visual impairments that can't use screens. And recently, the latest versions, for example, of OpenAI's GPT, called GPT-O, has a speech interface. So this is really a promising field for people with visual impairment. Another quote here from Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google. He says, "Looking to the future, the next big step will be for the very concept of the device to go away." And that's exactly our vision, that you shouldn't think of the devices. The technology should just support you without you have to really notice the device. And although there is a lot of interesting research results for alternative ways of communication, most communication today are based on sight and hearing. And that's, of course, problematic for people with visual or hearing impairments. And we need better technology to support them, especially for this modern communication where you have short text messages, which is very common for communication today, both in business and privately. Since we are interested in alternative ways of communication, we soon interested in people with visual impairment, not only because we think we could support them and help them in different ways, but also that people with visual impairment also really have the most experience of not using visual interfaces. So our collaboration with visually impaired people have really helped us to understand what things are problematic and how to develop non-visual user interfaces in the best possible way. And as you know, the tools used today are primarily braille displays and screen readers. And the braille displays is, of course, an alternative way of communication. You communicate through your sense of touch. However, they are not really, there are portable braille displays, but they are clumsy and expensive. And according to our information, most visually impaired do not bring them when they go outdoors. It's a very, very good tool when you sit home in front of a computer. So what is mostly used are screen readers, and screen readers, there are some problem with screen readers. For example, if you're in a noisy environment, can't really hear, and sometimes it's inappropriate to have something that I speak out loud. For example, if you're in a meeting, a library, or it could be quite impolite if you're on a date, for example. Also, when you have a visual impairment, you typically need your hearing to understand what's happening around you. For example, in traffic, if you're on a bus and waiting for you want to hear the next stop, and what the name of the next stop, etc. You don't want to occupy your hearing by using screen readers. It's also sometimes that they want to be discreet. The problem with screen readers is that everyone around you can hear the message. So our technology is based on research in brain-computer interfaces, but very, very much simplified. And what we want to do is to enable more senses for communication. So what we have developed is a technology where the information, for example, from your mobile phone, is translated into vibration patterns. And you can also send information to your mobile phone by tapping buttons on the wristband. And later on, I will talk about our new input methodology of what's happening next. But with this technology, where you communicate through vibrations, it works very well when you're in noisy environments. It also works well where screen readers feel inappropriate or impolite. It also works when hearing is occupied. And it works very well when you want to be discreet, have a discreet communication. And that's, for example, can be good if you are in a negotiation or you are doing a presentation and want to get some feedback from someone you know in the audience. Or, for example, just keep track of the time for your presentation. We can do that with our technology. So, how does it work? Yes, we have, together with the wristband, we have a companion mobile application. And this mobile app catches events that happens on your mobile phone. And then you can configure what type of events you want to catch and forward to your wristband. And so some events that you have selected yourself are catched on the mobile phone and forwarded to the wristband, and the wristband vibrates different patterns for different things. And all this is configurable, so it can be used in many different ways, but I will soon show some examples. However, the important thing is that these vibrations, after some training, you can interpret them more or less subconsciously, that the brain learns to interpret these vibration signals. However, it requires some training, but less training than you might expect. The team behind xTactor is myself, Peter Idestam-Almquist, my co-founder, Ante Larsson, and the developers, Camilla Schäfer-Bergman and Daniel Åkesson. And we also have an accessibility analyst, Per Rosqvist, who is blind from he was born. We also have, since we're a small company, we have partnerships. When we developed this product, we have with our technology, we have done it together with the Swedish Association of the Visually Impaired. And we also have a collaboration with Iris, who is a retailer. And we have a booth together with them at SightCity. We also have partnership regarding hardware technology and manufacturing, etc. So this was a short presentation of the company, the research and the technology behind our product. And now I will present our first product, the xBand. And the xBand is a wristband that have, it's about the size of an Apple Watch, 4 times 3 centimeters and 1 centimeter thick. It's more or less exactly the size of an Apple Watch. And it has an elastic wristband attached to it. It also has 2 strong and very precise vibration motors. It's much more distinct and easy to detect than, for example, the vibration motor in an Apple Watch. And it can have much more detailed vibration signals at a higher speed. The xBand also have 2 tactile buttons, so you can input the commands and text to the wristband that is forwarded to your mobile phone. It is water resistant. It has a battery life of about 2 to 7 days. It really depends how much you use it. And it charges very fast. It just takes less than 45 minutes to get it fully charged. So, and some features and everything, you configure your xBand through this companion mobile application. And the wristband itself has a clock. It works as a clock, as a watch. And you can, by tapping a button, you can ask for the current time, and it will vibrate the current time. And you can get this either in Morse code, which is quite easy to learn. It's very easy to understand how these figures are created in Morse code. 1 dot followed by a number of or 1 dit followed by a number of dashes are 1, 2 dots, 2, 3 dots, 3, etc. And when you come to number 6, you start with 1 long, 1 dash, and 7 is 2 dashes, 8 is 3 dashes, 9 is 4 dashes, and 0 is 5 dashes. So you can learn it quite easily. However, it's longer than necessary because in Morse code, you also want to separate all the digits from the alphabetic letters. But so you can also select that you want the shorter notation where 1 dot is 1 and a dash is 5. So for example, 614 will be dash dot for 6 dot for 1 dot 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 for 4. And you learn this very, very easily to get the time in this vibration pattern. And you can decide if you want, of course, 24-hour, 12-hour, and how fast you want it to vibrate, etc., etc. On the xBand, you also can use other clock functionality like alarms and timers, which is it's good if you want to be remembered, have reminders, and also, for example, if you do a presentation or something like that, it's very good to have a timer, so you know how much time you have left, for example. And one thing that I like very much with xBand is that you can get periodic time messages automatically. So you don't ask for the time, it tells you the time with certain intervals, and you can decide the interval yourself. But this really gives you a new sense of the time. When I have this functionality, I always know what time it is without ever having to look at to look up the time, to look at the watch or a clock. So by having this that automatically, repeatedly tell you the time, you get really a new feeling of a new sense of time, actually, which I really enjoy. So this works for xBand separately, but it also have a connection with your mobile phone. So you can receive all types of notifications from the mobile phone directly to your wristband. And here you can also configure how these vibrations patterns, what type of notifications you want to forward to your xBand, and what that you don't want to forward, so you can select, and also what they should look like. For example, you might get one type of vibration if you get a message from Facebook, another if you get a message from Google Mail, another if you get a phone call, you get a text message or some other type, etc., etc. And it's very easy to learn because you have a number of applications that you want to receive notifications from, and all of them will have a separate type of vibration pattern when you receive them, and typically it is like the initial letters in Morse code or something like that, but you don't have to know Morse code. You will still recognize these different patterns for different applications. And even more, you can in your contact list give different person different vibration patterns. So, for example, my colleague, my co-founder, Ante Larsson, I just give him the abbreviation an A, which is dot dash. And if I get the dot dash, or if I get the message from him, I will just receive dot dash. And I know that it is from Ante Larsson. So in this way, I can easily see or know who sent me, for example, a text message. And if it is some important person, maybe the family or your boss, you can answer it. But if it's not, you can sort of wait to read the full message. You can also actually get the complete message as a vibration pattern, and then you get it in Morse code. We have also tried other encryptions, for example, Braille, but Morse code works best. But and for people who knows that I have an xBand, they typically send very, very short text messages to me. For example, lunch ? Is very easy, and then I understand that they wonder if I would join them for lunch. for example, or my wife typically sends me milk, and then I know I have to buy milk for the children on my way home. But even for those who doesn't know that I have an xBand, then we have a bridge to ChatGPT. We have built this, so you can decide yourself if you want, for example, a text message to be shortened to one single word. So, for example, if I get the message, "Hi, a couple of us are going out for lunch today. Do you want to join?" ? If I send this text message through ChatGPT and I ask it to shorten the text to a single word, it creates the text message lunch ? So it works. Our xBand works best for short text messages, and it works very well for short text messages, because if you don't have to pick up your phone or anything, you can read it passively. You can still do things with your hands. It doesn't require you any action at all. You can just passively receive the vibration message. And for short messages, this is extremely fast and works very well. Of course, long emails, etc., it's not the best way to read it. But for short messages, it's really works very, very well. And you can also input commands and text using wristband, where one of the two buttons you write Morse characters, and the other button you send a text message. And there you can also use, for example, short contact names. As I said previously, for example, if I want to send a message to my colleague Ante, I just tap -- which is short for an A for Ante. And I can also have a number of predefined messages that I can just have shortcodes for. For example, if I just write an L -- I can send a message to Ante if he would like to join me for lunch. So you can configure it very much as you want and specialize it for your particular needs. In the mobile app, there is also a training program where you can train Morse code. And actually, I would say that most people can learn Morse code in a few hours. However, you might be quite slow in the beginning. So what you need to practice is to speed up, get up to speed. But to start, it's very, very easy. And it's actually also even easier to write than to read. Because when you write, you decide the speed yourself. And we have a machine learning motor, an AI motor that adapts to your specific input behavior. So you don't have to follow any predefined speed or anything like that. It adapts to your way of inputting Morse code. And when you want to receive information through vibrations, you can also, of course, decide what kind of speed you would like it to have. So in the beginning, you can get the information very slowly, but then you can, after you learn, you can speed up. We are also adding more and more features. This is really a communication tool. And of course, everything you can do on a mobile phone, you can actually do from xBand. We just have to build bridges to different type of applications. So, for example, what we are working on now is that we, instead of the input, that you input information or commands by pressing a button on the xBand, you can just move your fingers, and then we read the volt differences on the wristband. So this means you can actually input information by just tensing finger muscles. And this gives you a really, really cool user experience, but because then you have really got away from the concept of the device. You communicate directly through your body. When you move your finger muscles or your fingers, or more specifically, you tense the finger muscles, you don't actually have to move them. You can just press something, and then you send information to your mobile phone. So you get this cool user experience that you actually communicate directly through your body. You don't need to pick up any tool. You have this directly available directly from your body. And I have a short demo of this. And here it is on from YouTube.
Here at xTactor, we envision a world where people communicate beyond just seeing and hearing, with services and other people, without thinking about the technology that supports it. This is a demonstration of our innovative input technology. This is how to type hello.
So that's so easy it is to input information. And here my colleague Ante, he moved the fingers up and down to really show what he was doing, but it actually is enough to just press the finger towards the table. It's the tension of the muscle that we measure, not the movement. So you can actually be completely still with your hand. You just use some pressure on something. So this will be in the next version of xBand, but very soon we will also have a navigation solution together with Clue, which is a mobile app for navigation indoors and soon even outdoors. And together with them, we have developed so you can communicate with this app from your wristband. You get information when to turn left, when to turn right, and it has a much better precision compared to, for example, Google Maps and everything, where the precision is about 10 meters. Here we get a much better solution that was developed together with Clue. And there are much more to come in the future. For example, we have prototypes where you can connect to smart home solutions, so you can control the music and coffee machine and a lot of other things. So this was the end of my presentation of the company xTactor and our product, the xBand. So I will happily answer any questions. So please. One important thing, of course, that I haven't mentioned is that our mobile app is, of course, designed to work with screen readers. And we have our analyst, Per, who tests everything that it works very well for people with visual impairment.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm Gerrit van den Brede from Belgium, and I may have missed the beginning of the presentation, but when will the device be available?
The device is available, and we have a booth at SightCity.
Okay.
It has number L2, which is on the floor 2, and then 30R. So you can go there and test the product. So the product exists and is available. It's only this finger movement thing that is not available yet.
Okay, thank you. Because tomorrow we are going to SightCity, so we will meet you there probably.
Yeah, please
Thank
come and visit our booth. So it's,
Thank you.
Thank you. And as you could see on the slides, if you can see, and I'm not sure that, but what's on the slide was my email address, and my email address is Peter, P-E-T-E-R, @xtactor.com, and xTactor is spelled with an X, T-A-C-T-O-R.com. So Peter @xtactor.com. So if you have any more questions or anything, please contact me, and I will reply to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you at SightCity or somewhere else. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.